first and foremost, I want to say, call Lord Yahweh by Shem Shai. I just said, is all praises to the Father in the name of the Son. I also want to say, Yahweh by Shem Shai, Barakatah, may the Most High in Christ bless. So we're getting into this Sabbath lesson today, man. Let me actually bring this over here. Right, so people not seeing what I'm doing over here. But, Salakia. Right, dang, I got another subscriber. All praise to the Most High. Got another subscriber on that YouTube channel. So, yeah, the reason why I'm doing this, man, is the Sabbath, of course. So I'm gonna go in with some topics to keep myself occupied in the Scripture. This is one of my main ways of studying, man. So I might even do a few different breakdowns that I have in my storage, man. Just waiting for the day to bring it out. Yesterday, I couldn't do a video. I worked until literally 5 minutes before the Sabbath hit, man. Yesterday, got to the crib with 5 minutes to spare. Was able to relax before the Sabbath hit for a little bit, man. So I didn't get the video done yesterday, so we're going to do it today. Really, what I'm going to go into is two things about, one thing about Esau, right? And I want to get this video here, man, to show what it was. Salakia. Get this video to show what it was that I'm dealing with. And it's hold on, this one, actually this one, because in this one I have so much heat in here, man, that I forgot one of the I forgot one of the main verses that applies to this topic, man. And actually, a lot of people won't even deal with the verse that I was talking about. They won't bring it out as well. I mean, it really ain't really too much to it, but yeah, they won't bring this verse out when I'm going into it. So it is out of Romans 9, and I did get Romans 9 when I brought this out, man. But like we see Esau, man. Let's actually start with a little bit of refresher on that. Let's go to Obadiah, right? We see Esau, though, it's not gonna make it, man. They're not gonna serve us in the kingdom. They're not gonna be our servants in the kingdom, man. I may have not even gotten a verse that I wanted, so I'm gonna start at Obadiah 1:15. It says, "For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen." So this ain't about just Esau. It's about all the heathen, and it's the day of Yahweh, right? Meaning that it's the day of the Lord's vengeance, right? What is it? Slakia. We just want to clarify this, right? I did just wake up and prepare myself for nothing. I usually wake up, do my thing, man. When I'm getting ready to go outside, that's when I make myself presentable, but it ain't really here nor there, man. So this is Amos chapter 5, and it's verse 18 I'm looking for. It says, "Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahweh. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahweh is darkness and not light," right? So when we see that it says, "For the day of Yahweh is near," that's talking about the same thing, man. The end times, man. The day of judgment, man. Right? Let's actually get another one to back that up really quick. Actually, I don't want to even do that. Internet acting slow today, but this is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "But the day of the Yahweh will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Right? "The earth also and the works therein shall be burnt up." So this is talking about the day of the Lord, man. Right? I may have to do a day of the Lord breakdown, but this ain't gonna be it, man. So I just wanted to quantify or qualify what the day of the Lord is, man. It's it's not a good thing, man. Right, and it's near upon all the heathen, man. Like it says here, man, Obadiah 15, it says, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. Nobody getting away from it, man. And it says, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee, man. Let's actually get that, man. We're gonna break this down piece by piece today, man. We're not just getting around Deuteronomy. So we're not just taking what we want and running with it. We're gonna break down every piece of it, man. 7, I think it is. Right? So this is Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. It says, and Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, man. And thou shalt return it. Okay, so the Most High putting the curses on the other nations because this is how they rewarded us, man. Right? Let's actually get that. Okay, it ain't Jeremiah. It's Revelation 18. Right? It's Revelation 18. I think it's gotta be here. So this Revelation 18 and 6, it says, reward her even as she rewarded you. It says, and double unto her, so she getting double according to her double unto her double according to her works, and the cup which she had filled to her double. Right? So when we see this here, man, it says for the day of Yahweh is Obadiah verse 15. It says, for the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. So they get their reward return to them. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. Right? So we seeing that the heathen getting this judgment from the Most High, man. Right? And it says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, that's talking about how the other nation is dwelling in the land of Israel, man. Drinking upon the holy mountain. Also how they drinking up the blood of the saints, man. Hey, let's see if we can get that out of here, right? Okay. So it's Revelation 18 and 23, and it says, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee. Right, the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for the merchants were the great men of the earth, right? For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So this is talking about how the Babylon the Great have deceived all nations, man. But at the end, no more of this is going to be happening, man. Their bride and their bridegroom not going to be getting married no more. It's not going to be any more festivities. It's not going to be no more shows and stuff like that. All this stuff that we know, man, is done for, man. And it says, and in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints and all that were slain upon the earth, man. Right? So when it says here, man, Salakia, right? For as you have drunk upon my holy mountain, man, they have drunken of the blood of the saints, right? Let's actually get that, man, because I think it's a verse that says drunk the blood of the saints, if I'm not mistaken. 17, Revelation 17, right? Revelation 17. I was in Amos. Oh, okay, that's Obadiah, right? My bad. So Revelation 17, Salakia, verse 6, and it says, and I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right, and I'm really not even making the point that I wanted to make, man, just yet, because it's really a various topic thing. I'm going to get into the whole Esau serving Jacob in the kingdom, man, but we got to break this thing down piece by piece, man, because we got to understand, man, that this is just what's happening, man, and this is what we leading into, man, right? Esau going to serve us in the kingdom? No, right? But how we coming to this conclusion, man? Because we see in verse 15 that this is talking about the day of the Lord upon the heathen, man, the day of judgment, right? This is what this is talking about, man. Thy reward shall return upon their own head. What did they do when they got here, man? They tried to kill off the natives. They tried to kill off the Hispanics, man. Right? They tried to kill off the darker complexion natives that was here too, man. They actually made Reuben, right? Because Reuben gonna typically be the darker skinned natives, man. Reuben, and that ain't always the case. Sometimes you got some dark skinned Gadites, you got some dark skinned Seminole, or well, light skinned Seminoles. It's not always the case. Don't quote me on that. But usually the case is like I believe Snoop Dogg is a Reubenite, right? I believe it's a bunch of like all the Floridians that ain't Slovakia, all the Floridians that ain't Haitian, right? Or and they black man and they might not be African American man, they're gonna be Gad or Reuben too, man. Right? But that's rather here nor there, man, right? So when they came here, they started pillaging these people, and I was able to tie that all in to my point I was making. They started pillaging our people, man. So when the Lord come in, they're gonna have their reward done unto them, and it's getting double according to what they did unto us, man. So when they came over here and started killing our brothers and sisters, the native brothers and sisters, man, they getting double upon their own head, man. Right? They getting double their reward unto them, man. Right? And it says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually, man. So the heathen gonna be able to benefit off of this, man. Right? It says, yeah, they shall drink and they shall swallow down and they shall be as though they had not been. And really what that's talking about is the heathen gonna partake in the judgment of the Edomites, man. Right? There shall be none, or I didn't even want to make that point, man, just yet. Right? Salakia, I was in Romans 9. I should open up that tab, but it is what it is, right? Verse 17, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, right? That's talking about the children of Israel going to be delivered. That ain't talking about everybody else, man. The other nation is going to be drinking of this, man, right? And it says, so shall the heathen drink continually of what? This, man. Right? The reward returning upon their own head, man. It says, but upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, there shall be holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, right? Verse 18, right? This is the key one, right? And it says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall be no more there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken. Right? So we don't see Esau coming out here, man. Right? And it says, and Savior shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's, man. So it ain't gonna be no more Esau in the last days, man. We try and justify it. I think I actually got this in that video, but we're gonna get it again, right? Because we gotta understand, man, that these people ain't fitted for serving us, man. They more so vessels fitted for destruction, man. Right? This is Job chapter 27, verse 13. This is the portion of a wicked man with the Most High. Who's the wicked man with the Most High, right? Let's see who this is, right? I think it's Malachi 1, right? Let's see. It's saying, whereas Edom saith, right? Malachi 1 verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, right? But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh Tazabawa, right? It says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and I will call them the border of wickedness, man. So this is the portion of the wicked man, the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever, man. That's a perpetual hatred, man. The Lord has a strong indignation, a strong hatred against these people, and it's forever. It's never going to be quenched, man. Right? And that's why we see the destruction towards them. There's something I wanted to get off of this. The border of wickedness. That's the point I was making. Right? So this is the border of wicked. The portion of the wicked man, Job chapter 27, verse 13, it says, the portion of a wicked man with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors, which they shall receive of the Most High, or the Almighty. Right? If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. Now this is exactly going into what I'm about to get out of Romans 9, man. Right? If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword. And if his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread, right? Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widow shall not weep. And actually, I make the point that his widow shall not weep. It's talking about only they women is going to be preserved. But the house of Esau, man, even if the women is preserved, there's no way that the house of Esau could thrive, man. There's no way that the house of Esau can even exist after all the men are destroyed. But my ideology is that this is also talking about other nations as well. So the women, even if they do make it in the kingdom, after the women die, it ain't no more Esau, right? Esau can't be rebirthed through women, like how the Lord did with Benjamin, man, right? Benjamin had to be pretty much brought back to power through Judah, man. Right, so Benjamites might be Judites, man, right? Because of the, I think it's in Kings, if I'm not mistaken, man. Benjamin went against one of the other tribes, man, and they wasn't rocking with it, right? But yeah, man, I'm gonna actually get that before I misquote anything. But I'm almost certain, man, there was a few men left of Benjamin, and if it's not the men of Judah that populated, it was the women of Judah that helped Benjamin populate, and we had to basically be repopulated through the women of Judah that we had, man. Right, so we had to do what we had to do, man, which is the scripture spirit, man. Right, but this is the portion of the wicked man. They're gonna die, right? They're gonna be buried in death. It don't say that they're gonna live forever, man. Right. Let me get this Romans, right? And I'm actually gonna read a lot of this Romans 9, right? Because it's Romans 9 and 13, right? Actually, I'm gonna start up a little bit earlier, right? Okay, so we could start here at verse 8, but I'm going to start where it start talking about Jacob and Esau, because this is really the point that I'm making with this one, right? So this Romans 9 and 9, or verse 10. Says, and not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, right? It says, for the children being not yet born, neither have done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to election, might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. Right? It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. Right? This actually happened. I went into this that the elder already served the younger, man, and they already loosed the bands off of their neck, man. Right? I went into this, man. If you want, let's go. I think it's in this video, man. I think it's actually covered in this video, and if it's not covered in this video, then hold on, let me see. Nah, it has to be in that this video, man. Right? And if it's not in this video, it's in this one, man. And if it's not in that one, see, I got too many videos, man. It's in one of these videos pertaining to Esau. I believe strongly it's in this one, though, right here. Right? From 2 weeks ago, with the 2 views. Right? Does Esau serve Jacob in a kingdom, or will Esau be destroyed? What does the Bible say? So, right, when it goes into this, man, that the elder shall serve the younger, this already came to pass, man. Right? the Edomite was serving David, and David had the whole congregation of Esau, or the whole not the tabernacle, the whole house of Esau in his subjection. He placed garrisons and throughout all the land of Edom. He was basically like the government to Edom, man. He had his system set up, and then they loosed the bands for after a little season, man. Was well, not even with Solomon, but it started to happen. What I think was Hadad the Edomite, and Hadad went his own way and started doing his own things, trying to make war with the children of Israel, man. He started going to I think it was the Ishmaelites and other nations, and trying to start making war with the Israelites, man. Right, and he couldn't do it during the time of Solomon. So it happened over time that they started coming together under one mind and one consent. Actually, let's get that right. We just got to get this really quick because it's what it's talking about. This is Psalm 83 verse. I'm going to just get verse 3. It says, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. We're going to jump down to verse 6. It says, the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites and Moab and the Hagarenes, so on and so forth, man. They came together and they decided, let's go against the children of Israel. So yes, the Edomites already served the Israelites, man. and they loosed the bands already too, man. Right? But let's continue on. It says, so it says, the elder shall serve the younger, right? Right here, and it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated out of Malachi. We already got the rest of Malachi, but we just got this part of Malachi that we didn't get out of Malachi, right? So we see here, man, right? This is Paul here, man. He's literally qualifying who are the Israelites in this chapter, man. So then he going to say who God loves and who God hates, man. So why would he love Jacob and hate Esau, but then the rest of the chapter is talking about Esau could be spared, Esau could be saved, Esau could be this, that, and the third. That's not what the rest of the chapter is talking about, right? Let me see. This is the one thing that I wanted to get. That's okay. So now we're gonna see here, man, verse 21, right? But if we continue on, right, verse 14, what shall I say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. Is there unrighteousness that God hates, man? Right? And actually, let's get this really quick, right? I just posted this on Facebook or on Twitter. 3 and 7, right? It says a time to love, or 3 and 8. Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. It says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Why would both of these verses say here, man? Say this here, man. Right? I should just get it out of the where I shared on Twitter, right? Psalm 139. Right, Psalm 139:21. It says, do not I hate them, O Yahweh, that hate thee. Right? Am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? Who hates the Most High God? Esau, right? It says, I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies. Right? So this is clearly David, right? This is a Psalm of David, right? It don't say it in there, but it's a Psalm of David. Let's actually prove that. I'm gonna get it really quick, right? Psalm 139. Right, Psalm 139. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna just show you on my phone, because it ain't here. I'm not gonna look for it too far. I know it's gonna be in here though. Psalm 139, right? So it says, to the chief musicians, a Psalm of David, right? To the chief musician, a Psalm of David. That's what it says. If you couldn't read it, oh well. That's what it was saying though. It's to the chief musicians, a Psalm of David, right? This is all David here, man. And he said that he hate them with a perfect hatred, right? So how it ain't unrighteousness with God. That it's hatred towards these people, man. That the Most High actually hate them too, man. Because it ain't unrighteousness, man. The Most High is all righteous, all knowing, all good, man, right? And he evil too, man. He could do it. The Most High controls everything, man. It ain't nothing that the Most High can or cannot do, man. Right? But be unrighteous is not one thing that the Most High can do, man. All things are done righteously through the Most High, man. He just, everything operates according to the Most High, and that's his righteousness, man. Right? We can't say that the Most High is unrighteous, because that would be going off, man. Right? So, continuing on, he says, for he saith to Moses, that's a lot. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. A lot of people like to think that this is talking about, oh yeah, well he gonna choose whoever he gonna choose. He gonna deal with whoever he gonna deal with, whether they Israel or not. But the qualifying factor in this chapter is this verse, right? That's the qualifying factor of this whole chapter. He's talking to who the Israelites are, right? He ain't talking to nobody else, man. Right? That's why he will write this to somewhere like the Church of Rome. Because if the Edomites was in the congregation, man, they ain't gonna assume that they Israelites, man. Right? During this time, they're gonna think they're Romans, man. Right? And they're gonna have to be like, who was Esau? Right? If that was the case, man. If the churches in Rome contained Gentiles in there, man. Right? This is a qualifying factor, man. Actually, if we deal with Paul in every instance, man, he's gonna say to the church in Rome, those called to be saints, right? To the church of Ephesus, right? Those called to be saints, right? Those called to be pure, man, right? To the church of Thessalonians, right? Salakia, that's what it is. But to the church of Philemon, right? To the church of this, that, and the third, every time, man. Right? Even James to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, right? It's not to everybody; it's to the specific people, man. And this is why our people is so confused with the scriptures, because they see it and they believe that it's for everybody, but it's not, man. But continuing on, it says, so then it's not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of the Most High that showeth mercy, right? For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee. So the Most High raised up Pharaoh to destroy him, to drown him in the Red Sea, man. That ain't talking about the Most High is dealing with Pharaoh. The Most High was dealing with Pharaoh to bring Israel out of their situation, right? The Most High was dealing with Pharaoh to show the other nations not to deal with the children of Israel, man. Right? The Most High gonna be dealing with the children of Israel again like that, man. Because in the kingdom, I actually dealt with this, man, because Deacon Hakah, right, from Genesis, right? Deacon Hakah from Genesis said that the heathen gonna serve us for 1,000 years in the kingdom, and then they're gonna be in a position where they serving the Most High. And I was like, the scripture don't verbatim say that, but the scripture do verbatim say that Gog and Magog gonna rise up after 1,000 years. That's verbatim. That's verbatim. That Gog and Magog gonna rise up after 1,000 years. This in Revelation 20. Gog and Magog rise up after 1,000 years. And then you could back this up with Ezekiel 38 and 39. I gotta get this blessing done. Ezekiel 38 and 39, because those two chapters is beautiful chapters. But when Gog and Magog come up, it's in Ezekiel 38, I think it says, after a few years, right? Because a year with the Most High is like a day with the Most High is like 1,000 years, right? So it might seem like just a couple days pass, man, when we're dealing with the Most High, and then they Gog and Magog decide to start fighting against the children of Israel. But then in Ezekiel 39, they talk about how the Lord is going to use Gog and Magog as a sign for all the heathen, man. And that they should know that they got to serve the Lord, and they're going to submit themselves into the children of Israel. And then after that, all the days of the children of Israel is peace. It is going to be peace even when the children of Gog and Magog come against us, man. Because they're going to come up against us without knives and without weapons, man. They gotta beat their swords and they pruning and they things into plowshares and pruning hooks, man. Right? They are in hoes and all these other types of things, man. So when the heathen come up against us, man, right, or Gog and Magog come against us, man, after that they're gonna the other nations, they're gonna come and serve us, man, with just ultimate submission, man. Right? They're not gonna be rebellious or anything like that. It's not gonna be any more beating the heathen neck in, man, because they're gonna just serve the Lord, man. And that's actually biblical, man. That's biblically founded, man. So yeah, man, we gotta deal with it, man. So it says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for the same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, right? So the Lord gonna use Gog and Magog just how he used Pharaoh, and the Lord gonna use Esau just how he did Pharaoh, man. That's why the comparison is there, man. Right? And it's understandable, man. The Most High gonna do it, man. Right? And it says, therefore he have Salakia, that I might show my power in thee, that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. And that's why the Lord do it, man. So that his name could be declared upon all the earth, and that all the heathen or all the people of the earth worship him, man. Right? The Lord is saying that he gonna put righteous order in the earth with what he's doing, man. And this is not even talking about Pharaoh being saved, man. This is talking about Pharaoh's destruction, man. This is literally talking about the other nations being destroyed, man. Right? And not even the other nations, but them. Simple as that, right? And so continuing on, right? Where were we just at? Okay, verse 18, it says, therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and on whom he will he hardeneth. So the Most High is not dealing with everybody. He hardened the heart of Pharaoh to keep the children of Israel in captivity, right? He hardened the heart of Esau to keep the children of Israel in captivity, and all the other nations, man. Right? The other nations have not let loose the bands of the children of Israel at all, right? They try and offer us asylum. Oh, move to Ghana, move to Kenya, move back home, right? So they can start getting the wealth off of us that the Edomites getting off of us. They're gonna see it as an opportunity to make money off of us, man. Right? And then them cries for calling the children of Israel back to Africa, man. Sometimes it be driven by Hamite superpowers, man. Right? That want the children of Israel to generate the economy over there, man. Getting free visas and all that stuff, man. You don't want to really necessarily fall into the trap, man. Because going to other nations and stuff, man, that's going to lead you to see Christ face to face. And if you're not living right, you're going to have to answer to that, man. Right? You're going to be probably get cut down asunder, man. But if you living on this side, man, you could be spared, man. Right? You could, but you still, either way, you still got to be living righteously, man. Right? But, and even if you do get destroyed on this side, it's going to be a quicker judgment than on that side. Right? You're going to be destroyed quickly over here. Over there, you're going to be getting played with and like, yo, is you going to do this? You going to do that? No? All right, we getting you done. We getting you out of here. Get them out of here. Right? So, to gnawing the national teeth, go ahead. Right? Cutting asunder, man. We got to understand this stuff, man. Right? So, the Lord talking about destruction and judgment on the heathen, pretty much, man. And it says, thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? And it says, nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against God? He said, you a simple man. How you going to reply against God? Right? It says, shall the thing that formed it say to him that formed it? Right? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, Salakia, why hast thou made me thus? Right? We ain't gonna. Well, a lot of people be like, why was I even made and stuff like this? And it's crazy because this is actually what that's talking about, man. Right? But this is what it's really going into. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor. This is actually the whole point of why I brought all this out, man. Right? So it's a certain so from the beginning of this video till now, this is why I brought all this up, right? But he made a certain honor to a certain vessel to honor and another to dishonor, man. Right? The Lord not dealing with dealing with these other nations. They are a vessel fitted for dishonor. Right? And it says, what if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction. That's the vessels of wrath, man. The day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, man. That's the vessels of wrath, man. Fitted for destruction. And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy. Who the vessels of mercy? The Israelites, man. Which he have afore prepared unto glory. Now hold on. This is literally mentioned in the same chapter, verse 23. Can't forget verse 23, right? Romans 9:4. Who are Israelites, right? To whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory. Mic drop. That's it. Right? And the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises. So verse 23, it says, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, right? Which he had afore prepared unto glory, to which pertaineth the glory. They pertain to glory, the children of Israel, man. Right? This is how we know we the riches of his glory, man. The children of Israel, man. Right? That he might make known the riches of his glory by destroying a vessel fitted for destruction, or a vessel of dishonor, man. Right? Let's get this really quick. Why are they a vessel fitted for destruction, man? Why would the Lord call a whole nation of people a vessel fitted for destruction? Right? This is Job 30:1. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose father I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. Right? This is why they are what did it say? What was the word used, man? Dishonor, man. Vessels fitted, vessels of dishonor, man. Right? But continuing on, man, verse 8, it says, Job 30:8, it says, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. Right? They were viler than the earth. Right? This is what it is, man. Right? And it's verse 10, they abhor me, they flee from me, they spare not to spit in my days. right? This is who the vessels of dishonor are, man. Right? This Job, he was in the land of Uz. He was talking about the children of Edom. Right? Some people might say that Job was an Edomite, but he wasn't an Edomite, man. The Lord was dealing directly with Job, man. The Lord don't deal directly with Esau unless he's to bringing them to destruction, man. That's how they get a direct deal, man. Or he using them as vessels for dishonor, right? Vessels of dishonor, bringing us to captivity, man. Bringing us into servitude, man. Right? This is the vessels of honor, or vessels of destruction, man. Vessels of wrath fitted for destruction, man. Right? So basically that's that point I wanted to make, right? It ain't it though, man. I had the vessels of destruction. I think I already did this breakdown. Man, it was something else that I had on mind, man. If I gotta come back with it, I will. But I know it was something that I had in mind that I needed to cover, man. It was something in mind. It was off another video I had, man. So just bear with me while I look through my videos here, man. Oh, Joseph was Yahushai's father. Here's the proof. So in this one, man, right, let's see what's going on here, right? No comments, none. Okay, cool. So in here, man, I forgot a key point, man. Right? And this the Trinity thing, man. Also, we're gonna touch base on that, man. But this here, man, I might not touch base on that Trinity, even though I have a little bit of precepts to go with that. Let's actually go here. I think it's John, or if it's not John, it's Luke 3. No. This should be it, right? Luke 2. I'm gonna get this. Because it's only right for me to remember this. I want it out of Bible Gateway. Luke 2. Right, Luke 2, we're going to start down here, right? Verse 38, and it says, and she, Luke 2 and 38, and she coming in that instant gave thanks likewise unto Yahweh, and spake him to all them that look for redemption in Jerusalem. And when they had performed all things according to the law of Yahweh, they returned into Galilee to their own city, Nazareth. And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit, filled with wisdom. It's talking about Yahushua, and with grace of the Most High, and the grace of the Most High was upon him. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of Passover, right? And it says, and when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast, right? Now remember, this is talking about Joseph being Yahushua's father, man. Yahushua is Yahushua's father, man, right, on earth as a earthly vessel, man. Of course, the Lord is his father, but and the scriptures say, "Who thinkest thou is my father?" Right? And they said some things, man, right? But he said that he's about his father's business in the same chapter, man, right? That ain't I mix a couple precepts around, but we know what it's talking about, man, right? So it says, and when they had fulfilled the days as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his Mary and his mother knew not of it. So this is kind of confusing how they worded it, man. Right? They said, and Joseph and his mother, right? But you seeing that this is talking about Joseph and his mother Mary, right? We see that, right? So it says, but they, supposing him to have been in the company, so Yahushua stayed back with the elders pretty much, man. Right? And they was going back to Galilee, man. They thinking Yahushua with them, man. Right? And they said, but they supposed to have been in the company, right? Supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey. So they walked a day without him, man. And they saw him amongst their kinsfolk and acquaintance. So it was a group of people, man. Right? It wasn't just them. It was a group of people, because what did they do? They went to Jerusalem for the Passover. That was everybody that did that. Not just one person, man. Right? Everybody went to Jerusalem for the Passover. right? And then when you're going back home, man, everybody, all right, well, it's time to go back to Galilee. Let's go. Right, that's what was happening, man. And they walked for a day's journey, man, right? And they sought him among the kinsfolk and acquaintance, right? And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him. So they went back, who? Mary and Joseph, right? And it says, and it came to pass, after 3 days, they found him in the temple. What was he doing, man? Yahushua was in the temple, and they was looking for him for 3 days, man. Right? Sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. Sitting in the midst of the doctors, or the doctors of the law, the elders, man. Right? I know I said the elders, man. Let's actually get that out of Bible Hub. I know it's rather here nor there, right? 2 verse 46, but I want to see what that's saying in Luke 2 and 46, right? It doesn't hurt to get some clarification, right? I'll be learning as I'll be doing these videos too, right? And if somebody's saying that it's wrong for me to be bringing out lessons and not having the knowledge already, man, you're going up, man, right? Every opportunity is an opportunity to get some knowledge, man. Right, so this is the NIV. After 3 days, they found him in the temple court, sitting among the teachers, right, listening to them and asking questions, right, sitting among the religious teachers. So I'm just looking for if it says elders. So it's just saying teachers, the doctors, right, that's King James, teachers, right, teachers. So it's basically saying he was sitting in the midst of the teachers, right. Only thing that says doctors is talking about the King James, and more so leaning towards veering away from the King James, for real. I won't go out and on a block and not bring out the King James, but you know, it's just too much information out there that shows that yes, he have a good translation, man, but he also has some fallacies in his type of teaching and his word translation as well. But yeah, man, we seeing here doctors, teachers. So it's only 2 words, rabbis, man, right? So it don't necessarily mean the elders. I won't say the elders again, right? But I had to see if any mention of the elders was there, man. So after a few days, man, they found him sitting amongst the teachers, man, both hearing them and asking them questions, man. Christ was like a man like me, man, asking questions to the elders, like, yeah, what's this, what's that, what's this, right? Because if somebody tell you something about the Bible that you haven't heard no more, man, heard before, or even if it's new knowledge to you, you're gonna inquire so that you can get the understanding of, man. Right? Like how people on Twitter and stuff, man, they be like, Esau not the way, man, or Esau is this and that, man. I inquire at the mouth, man. How ain't Esau this? What precept supports your position, man? And then they go into Ruddy and Red and so on and so forth, man. That's an easy cut though, man. Because Ruddy usually is Adawai or something like that. I don't know, but it's 2 different words for Ruddy and Red most of the time. It's only one time where Esau or Red and Ruddy is the same, and that's under the case of David, and that's why a lot of people will say that David was a light-skinned man, right? And you can't really deny that. He might have been high yellow, man, right? It ain't nothing wrong with that, man. The truth of the scriptures, man, right? But back to my point here, man. So when they say the doctors, that's really a point I was making about the doctors. It could be different words, man. Actually the point I was making was about hearing out everybody when they talking, man, right, and asking questions, trying to get to the bottom of it. That's how Shai was being with the elders, man, or with the teachers, man, right, and all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answer. So he was actually asking them questions, like, nah, man, this ain't the case, like, the law say this and so on and so forth, man, right? He was inquired of them, and then he was like, nah, I don't know, right? So they was astonished at him, man, right? He had much doctrine, much understanding, man, right? And I could probably go to that verse 40. I draw already close, so I'm not doing that, right? But verse 48, right? And it says, and when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou dealt thus with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. Who is his father? Is that talking about the Most High God seeking after Yahushua? He knew where Yahushua was, right? That ain't talking about the Most High, Let's talk about Joseph. Joseph literally get called is called the father of Jesus by Mary. G- Joseph is the father of Jesus. Right? Now, the next verse though it says, and he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business? So he was talking about the most high father. Mary was talking about his earthly father. It's two different types of things, man. Yahweh Shai was here to do the father's work, man. Right? It's simple, man. It's very, very simple, man. Right? This Yahweh Shai did say he's about his father's business, man. But Mary said that Joseph is his father, man. Right? That's one of the main precepts I didn't get in this video, man. And I want to let's go here, cause Slovakia. Let's just make sure I got the 30 right. I wanted to make sure that I'm putting the right thing there, man. So honorable mention, Luke 2 and 48. Alright, let's make sure. Luke 2 and 48. Father and I have sought thee sorrow. Right, let's actually copy and paste this here. And then let's go here. Salaki. I just want to get this on this because I didn't make mention of this in the video, so I want to get it. Let's see if we can get these. Get it. Hold on. There it is. Right? I just had to make sure that that is known, man. That right there, Luke 9 or Luke 2, man. That's a cut to the whole virgin birth thing, man. Right? I want to deal with this Luke 7 or Isaiah 7 real quick, man. No, I don't, because Isaiah 7:14, I'm not sure about that one, man. I want to actually do some more studying. And that's what I'm about to get into. So I already been on this thing for 47 minutes. I may come on later with another breakdown, man. I have Romans 1 I want to do still, man. I still got the tabernacle is equal to the temple. I may hold off on that for a little bit until after I'm done with the Torah series. And then I got Yahweh Shai as a sacrificial lamb here. I got another breakdown somewhere on one of these pieces of paper, man. I'll be writing so much stuff on my sheets of paper here that I don't even be realizing that I got breakdowns that I need to cover, man. Piece of tape. It's a piece of tape. Breaking the pages. The thing, this is just the music and it ain't my breakdown folder. So I don't have any lessons here, man. Right, so it's simple, man. Right, the first one I'll cover was that Esau not gonna serve us in the kingdom, man. Right, it's easy to understand, but people want Esau to serve us for what they did, man, and that's understandable. But I would rather see them gone, man. Right, and then Yahweh Shai died an earthly father, man. Those two topics, man, that we gotta cover, man, that we gotta deal with, man. Hopefully, I cover all my aspects, but if I got to do another various topics to go over some things that I missed in other videos, like I know there's some things that I be kind of glazing over in the Torah series. I'm actually might those are videos are a little bit longer, so I might not get into those today, but I may do some studying and reading into those or looking into those while I'm at work or something, doing nothing at work, and going adding on to the Torah series, making timestamps of where I'm adding on to, so brothers can see like, oh, this is what he talking about, and so on and so forth. But I know I have to make a more I know I have to make a better effort at getting this word out with sincerity and truth, man. Right? I can't just be always shooting off at the hip, which I don't. Like if it's something that's too high for my understanding, I will go in and I will do breakdowns. Like even this, man, wasn't too high for my understanding, right? To Johannine Kama, but it was information that I didn't know and I had to gain, right? About Erasmus and Textus Receptus and all these different things that I could rehearse or reiterate or pretty much say off the top of my head that I couldn't before I did the Johannine Kama breakdown or the pericope adultery. I didn't even know what the pericope adultery was, man, before I did the Johannine Kama for myself, man. So really, this thing is about learning and growing. It ain't about being right. It ain't about being wrong. It's about getting into the scriptures and rightly dividing the word of truth. So, like Yahushua is a sacrificial lamb. That's going to be a breakdown where and you could clown me or whatever, but I'm gonna be on ChatGPT, right? And I'm gonna be using ChatGPT to help me get some precepts, not miss any spaces or anything like that, and be able to rightly divide the word of truth, man. Because while I do use it as a tool to get precepts to back me up, I also use it as a tool to help me get knowledge of the scripture sometimes, man. Because we don't know everything, and sometimes everything not covered on YouTube. If I find a video on YouTube, but like I typically right now, I'm leaning more so towards the Genesis with Deacon, right? And I mean Sakari, they kind of gone, so I can't really rely on them. But other than that, man, there's either them or GMS, man. And I haven't really went into GMS breakdown in a minute, man. Only time I really go into GMS breakdown is when it's like, you know, they got it, man, and the other people don't, man. But one thing I will say, I went into them for what was it, Isaiah 46 or what? It's Isaiah 56 if I'm not mistaken. The breakdown about we can actually see it here, man. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. It's on here, right? Still live. I'm just talking junk right now though, so it ain't too much going on, right? But I want to see what was it, Isaiah 56, the real breakdown. I had to do it about 4 times, man. Right, this right here, I had to do this about 4 times, man. Right, till it came out the way that it needed to, man. Right, because they brought it out a certain way that the Gentiles was the strangers was the Israelites, and that wasn't it, man. Right, but I had to go into their thing, man. Nobody else touched this, man. I had to go into it and rightly divide the word of truth, and then I had to battle with somebody who was able to debate me, and I went on this with that's a month ago. It might even be more than a month ago, but I went into this with an ideology, man, and I actually changed my mind frame to understand that what this is actually talking about, man. Check this out, man. An hour and 3 minutes ain't bad, man. So I'm gonna stop talking, man, and I'm gonna just finish this off with the How About Shem Shai Brakatah, EGA, or call all your How About Shem Shai. I want to say EGA till we see the day. Kwam Yashala.